This is the most stressful speedrun I have ever done, by far. My fastest time ever doesn't even come close. That is because this is not an ordinary speedrun. It is a speedrun duel, meaning I have an opponent who plays on the exact same world and has the same luck. So if I kill a blaze and it drops, he is guaranteed to kill a blaze and have it drop. What makes this worse is I was paired with Tapel, probably the most stressful person to play. Not because he's the best or anything, or because he has 500 viewers, although that is a part of it, but because his personal best has always been slightly faster than mine. I've always felt like I could beat him, and he's the only other person with 1 million subscribers that speedruns. But then he beat Minecraft in 10 minutes, and I've never felt like I've been as good as him since. So if you notice a lot of shaky gameplay, that's because, well, my hands were actually shaking. So when you start a match, you're guaranteed some sort of structure close by. I mean, not guaranteed, but it's a ranked match, so the world is probably pretty good. I'm thinking there's a buried treasure in this direction based off of the pie chart in my bottom right. I mean, there could be like a shipwreck or a spawner nearby, and I'd just be wasting time checking for a buried treasure. But I think it's probably worth it because buried treasures are the best starting structure to get. And if I break this dirt block, thankfully I get it. And I get it before Tapel, which is huge. You actually get to see their advancements in chat. So you'll see he got the acquired hardware advancement in chat. But at this point, I realized something. You get an advancement for finding a diamond. Tapel didn't get that advancement, meaning he only looted the shipwreck nearby and didn't find the buried treasure chest. So I've already started off better than him. I have better food and more iron. We'll see how the rest of the run goes. I'm actually pretty proud of this crafting because I was so unbelievably nervous. I was actually mad about how nervous I am. So it's good to see that my crafting was actually pretty decent. And we're already out in the water. I see a magma ravine right below me. So this is actually going to be a pretty decent nether time. I'm feeling very good about myself. I actually had a really rough couple of hours before this. I was doing some normal speedrunning. And I got a couple good seeds, which take forever to get, that I just completely choked. And I was feeling really bad about it. So doing well in this ranked run was like, okay, I'm feeling good, but I really got to focus up. There's no time to be nervous. We just got to build this portal. I could have built it maybe at a sooner spot, but this looked like the deepest lava, and I wanted to play safe and conservative because I know I'm already ahead. I've entered the nether, which is a great nether, by the way. I've spawned inside of a fortress, and I know there's a bastion close, but I have to make a big decision. Do I loot the fortress or bastion first? Now, I'm in a fortress, so you might say, why don't you loot the fortress first? That would be quickest, right? Well, I mean, it's kind of risky, though, because there's blazes, and they'll light you on fire. Normally, you loot a bastion first, so you'll have, like, fire resistance potions, and you're probably not going to die. In my head, I'm like, okay, maybe it's smart to loot fortress first. But I really don't feel like it. I lower my render distance there because for a second I feel like maybe I'm gonna loot it, but then there's this lava here. I almost burn alive. Thankfully that doesn't happen, and you probably saw those fireballs whizzing right past my head. So I'm like, you know what, it's fine. I'll just loot the bastion first. Maybe it's slower, but it might not be, depending on how close the blaze spawner would have been. This is probably the more consistent way to go. Plus, the bastion's right here. I'm gonna be entering the bastion sub 3, which is good. Tapel though has entered the nether, so I'm like, okay, I'm in the lead now. I don't know how long this is gonna stay though, so right now I'm trying to find where the front of this bastion is. I don't see any indications on these sides, so I'm just gonna dig straight down and get into this. Hopefully I don't take a ton of fall damage. I don't, but I know exactly where I'm going. This is the start of the bastion right here. Now, that was a bit of a sketchy part there. I probably should have played safer, but those piglins, they hit me once. I almost got knocked off the ledge into the lava. It's fine, though. This is the most risky bastion, though. I should probably mention. There's a high likelihood of me dying here. We're going to break this block and aggro all the piglins around me. Throw the gold ingots up in the air so they're not going to kill me. Connect these tunnels together. Boom. The deadliest part of the bastion is over. I can breathe a sigh of relief. And Tapel hasn't entered the bastion yet, so we're still decently ahead of him. Honestly, I'm looking back at this footage still, and I'm just very happy that I'm not shaking like a crazy man. I am shaking, but I haven't really been able to tell that in the recording. So that's kind of comforting that maybe if I get on a really good pace to get a cool time, I'm not gonna scuff stuff up because I can deal with the nerves. Hopefully I've had enough practice with the nerves. Look at that though. Tapel has entered the bastion, so we've got maybe 30 seconds on him, which is a pretty sizable amount, but that could totally go away. If I die, like, it's pretty much over. So I'm gonna eat 2 fish right here, regen max, because, I mean, I don't want to play super conservatively, but I definitely don't want to die. I mean, it's like whatever if you lose in a video game, but for some reason, I'm very invested in this, and I'm stressed out. I've always thought maybe I could beat Tapel, but he just has such a fast time that I'm like, probably not. He's like really good. And what's funny is he's probably not thinking twice about playing me. But this is like one of the first couple ranked matches that I've done, and I don't know. It really stresses me out because, like, I guess one, it's like competition. I'm taking a ton of damage there. Oh, yikes. But two, I put pressure on myself that I should be winning certain matches because I've spent a lot of time in this, and I feel like I'm good, but if I lose, I'm just gonna feel like fake. I'm not actually that good at speedrunning. Honestly, it's not true and not a good way to think about it because it's prevented me from playing ranked for a long time when ranked is just such a fun and good way to practice. Right now, for example, I have 14 obsidian in my inventory and I have to make a big decision. Do I stay, mine extra gold blocks, and try to get 20 obsidian, or do I leave? Honestly, it probably would have been the smart play to get 20 obsidian, but I decided to leave anyway, and I kind of know my way around this bastion, so I'm thinking that the air's going to open up here, and it does. So I just got to make my way to the blaze spawners. Now, I entered through, like, the bad side of the fortress. This is the part that doesn't have the spawners. So I'm just going to pearl here, lower my render distance, maybe get a couple strays, but I really need to make it to the good part of the fortress. So that's pretty much where I spawned in. So I'm making my way back down here. I don't see any blazes around me, so I'm going to increase my render distance again and to spot the spawner, which I do. I pearl, though. Terrible pearl. I almost take fall damage, and I had to throw one more pearl to save myself, but now I'm on 2 hearts. And I don't know if I have food. I should be eating food right now, but I'm playing aggressive for some reason, which is maybe good. It's definitely faster. I have 2 blaze rods. Oh, I don't even have food. Okay, so that's why I didn't eat it. We're also going to do another risky thing here and use dynamite. But before that can happen, a blaze kills me, which is fine. You can keep playing on a death, but I decided to reset here for a very important reason. You know how I lit that TNT? It was right next to all of my items that dropped on the floor, and there was also lava nearby, so that lava actually flowed over all my items. I have lost everything, and I'm now behind Tapel by minutes, by like 6 minutes. If there's one good rule that I've learned about life in general, and especially with ranked speedruns, is that just don't give up. You never know what's gonna happen. Tapel could die, and it's not even, I mean, it's bad. Don't get me wrong, this is very bad, but I already know exactly what I'm gonna do. So I've changed all my settings appropriately, and I've already got my buried treasure faster than I have before. And my crafting, dude, my crafting's actually kind of cracked right here. I'm very proud of this. A big reason to that is probably the nerves have settled. In my mind, I've already lost this match. Tapel is in the fortress. He's a really good player. But in retrospect, this is probably a really good thing because I'm a man with nothing to lose. I can go sicko wacko mode with stuff, and I know where everything is. Also, I'm going to speed up this bit because we've both already seen it. But I am going to change one thing about my routing. That golden pickaxe I crafted earlier, I'm going to use to make a tunnel to the start of the bastion. This is good for 2 reasons. It's more streamlined, I get there faster, but also it's my exit. The bastion route is exactly the same, so I'll speed this up too. But towards the end, I have to make that same critical decision. Do I try and get 20 obsidian? It could realistically save up to 5 minutes. But it's at this moment that I have the realization. I don't actually need 20 obsidian. You need 20 to build 2 portals. But the portal I came in through is close enough to the fortress that it's not out of the way. I could use that portal to measure my Eyes of Ender, and it's definitely the play, so I leave. At this point, though, I realized something. Tapel, I don't think, I mean, I could be wrong, I don't think he's gotten the Blaze Rod achievement, because you get an achievement when you kill a blaze. Did Tapel die? I don't know. It's only a passing thought, though. I really have to concentrate on my pearls. Last pearl was very bad. So I throw this one, and we spawn next to 2 blaze, which makes the pearl twice as good. I'm going to lower my render distance down to 5 again. It was a slight misplay. I should have had my render distance on 6 before I pearled, then changed down to 5. It's just like the optimal way to do things. But it works out. We get 2 blaze rods. We're 1 for 2. The most important thing, though, is I actually have health this time. I took far less damage throughout the whole run. I have 2 cooked cod, so I'm going to redo that TNT blasting thing. This actually improves your blaze rates by so much. The only problem is there's a bit of lava to the side, and I know that's going to throw things off. Blazes need like a decently low light level, so their lava being that close might hurt some of my spawns, but it should be alright. I definitely want to extend the platform with the soul sand, just so I have room to like play around and kill the blazes. Now, in the top right, you'll see it still says Tap-L has entered the fortress. The next thing to appear is when somebody leaves the nether. So either Tap-L is still in the nether getting blaze rods just like me, which means I would have caught up, or Tap-L has died or something has gone wrong. He's had to restart the run, which means I would also be ahead. I'm not sure I'm thinking about this at the moment because I'm really just trying not to die. We have 5 blaze rods. So I'm going to throw a pearl in the direction of the first portal that we used, just so it's a little bit of a time save. I can teleport there a little bit faster, because I just need 1 more blaze rod, and then we're out. I see 1 blaze off in the distance, so I'm like, okay, that's it. That's all I need to get out. But 1 spawns on top of me, so I take a little bit of unfortunate damage, but it's a 3 spawn here, so I should be getting my last blaze rod. Those 2 to drop, hopefully this one does. It does, and I'm out. Still measuring the eyes at like hopefully 13.5 minutes. There's a huge problem though. If you haven't really noticed, there's lava everywhere. I'm thinking this is where I came from. Is my portal under the lava? So I dive in. The portal is under the lava. So thankfully I have enough fire resistance. I think I only had 2 fire resistance. This would have been very bad if I didn't have all of that. So we're gonna exit. Gotta do some funky stuff to get out. Using soul sand to shoot me all the way to the top. I love this tech. It saves not a ton of time, but it's very cool, and it gives me time to craft my eyes while I'm zooming to the surface. So I've thrown my first eye, and I don't have my measurements on screen just because I always forget to turn it off, and it looks kind of bad for a video if it's just there the entire time. But I measure 1 eye. It's like a 10 or 20% chance that it's 1,500 blocks away. So I know I'm going to have to throw a second eye. I'm definitely not taking those odds. And after measuring this eye, which I think I do decently cleanly, well, I guess it's not the cleanest eye measurement, but I measure it, and I do in fact get the reading. It's 1,500 blocks away for 100%. And what's even better is neither of my eyes broke, so I should be guaranteed to enter the stronghold, unless I really scuff something up. I think in my last video I said eyes have like a 50% chance of breaking. I think that's wrong. I'm pretty sure they only have a 10% chance of breaking. I don't know. Maybe you can find an answer in the comments or something. What I got to do now is really concentrate on where I'm going. Actually, I had to step out of the portal so I could drink 1 more fire res. I definitely don't want to burn in this lava that is all around me. This is one of the hard and I think underrated parts of speedrunning. Knowing how to get to the coordinates you want to as efficiently as possible. I honestly don't remember this a ton, but I only have 6 pearls, so I'm thinking I gotta conserve stuff. You need 12 to enter the nether. I've already crafted 7. 7 plus 6 is 13, so I can only throw 1 more. What I don't realize until later in the run is I actually have another stack of 16 pearls in my inventory. So you could make the argument that I'm wasting time here, but I think I could only throw 2, maybe 3 pearls before I die because I don't have hunger. Again, it's probably a misplay because I could just like hunger reset with a bed in the overworld, but I'm playing conservatively. I think I actually don't even know if I realize I'm ahead at this point. I'm just really getting in the groove. I'm gonna have to speed bridge 50 blocks or something, but then I'm like, okay, I can throw 1 pearl. Definitely a time save. This is a huge gap. I still have another, I don't know, 50 blocks to go or something. Here, I could throw another pearl down to that island over there because that's really close to my coordinates, but I'm thinking I'm gonna need to take even more damage, and it's not that hard to speed bridge another 20 blocks or something. I am kind of high though, so I'm gonna jump into this lava like a pro gamer. Very cool, like movie-esque scene right there. And I'm already at the quartz to build my portal at 16 minutes, which, I mean, it's not terrible. Considering the fact we died, I think it's very good, though. Plus, I don't build the portal at the wrong coordinates. A lot of the times, you'll get the negative signs messed up, or you'll completely run in the wrong direction. So we're in the stronghold. I'm going to do this strategy called preemptive. Wait, no, just kidding. So I want to find the start of the stronghold first. I'm at the start of the stronghold. I just found it. Now I'm going to do the strategy called preemptive. I'm basically scanning for spawners nearby, because a portal room is where we need to go, and that has a spawner. In the back of my head, though, I'm like, I don't have enough wood. I need more wood. So I turn around, even though I've seen the portal room, because I need to find the library. That's like the only source of wood. I guess not the only source of wood, but one of the only sources of wood in a stronghold. And Maybe I should have done that scanning thing again, because maybe I could have detected the library. But I'm just going to YOLO it down some of these passageways, trying to look in all the directions. If there's... Actually, I was going to say if there's light, maybe that means there's a library. I'm not sure. I'm just looking for wood, some sort of color, and off in the distance, I see some cobwebs, so I know that the library's here. There's this freaking skeleton, though, and another skeleton. So I got shot. I take even more damage. But there's a third, dude. I take more damage, and I have no sprint now. So I'm hopping my way towards this library. I hear another skeleton in the background, too. So I'm going to try to avoid that while I explode all of my wood. That is just way more efficient than mining all of this stuff. Block it off again, because I really do not want to die. And I need to clear out my inventory, so I feel like I waste a bit of time doing this. But we craft all of our beds, 5 beds. That should be enough to kill the dragon. And hunger reset. So I'm going to hop in this hole and kill myself. Now, I try to use fire to kill myself, but it doesn't really work. So I'm going to pillar up and die with fall damage. I should have used a pearl, but I still don't realize I have 16 pearls, so it's fine. My inventory gets a little deorganized, so I have to pick that stuff up, and I just gotta go, because in the top right, Tapel is now finding the stronghold. So even if he died, he's on pace and catching up to me. I gotta beeline it back to the start of this thing and where the portal room is. Thankfully, I remember where it is, and I found the portal room pretty quick, so this stronghold nav is pretty good. I'm going to craft all my other eyes because I realize at this point I have more than enough pearls to do anything and everything. And we're in the end at 18 minutes and 48 seconds. Now, my biggest concern at this point is even though we have the same amount of luck, so our perches should be similar. I know Tapel does this thing a lot where he shoots down a whole bunch of the crystals. Normally you don't do this in a speedrun because it can be faster to not shoot them down, so you always high roll and don't shoot the crystals. But if you're playing ranked, you want to play more consistently, so you're always going to shoot down as many crystals as you can. I don't have a bow though, or a crossbow, and Tapel has entered the end. So I'm thinking if he bows down a ton of the crystals, I could just lose. Not sure how much it increases your odds of beating it, but I should be able to win. Actually, I have a crossbow. I don't even know what I'm talking about. So I pull out my crossbow, and I start shooting down the crystals. Ideally, you would do this when you're like at the center of the fountain, so these shots are a little bit easier. I don't even know if you can make the shots all the way to the end. And I don't have a ton of arrows, so I gotta try to hit as many as I can before time runs out. Tapel's in the stronghold. He hasn't entered the end, though, which is very good. So I'm making pace. Oh, wait. He's entered the end, but I see the dragon perching. This is it. I just cannot mess up these beds, and I'll just let this play out.
Oh my gosh, dude, I'm so scared.
That run was crazy, and I think I get a lot less nervous playing ranked, so I'm very excited to be doing more of that. I'll probably turn it into some videos. And if you want to play, I think it's probably a really good way to practice, because you're not guaranteed certain things in the world, but you're guaranteed a good world. So if you've ever wanted to get into speedrunning, maybe try it out. There's a casual mode, so maybe start out with that. I'll try to leave a link in the description, but that's pretty much it. So I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Actually, I saw like a wreck trap video. Oops.